Hi girls, welcome back to my channel. So it has definitely been a long time since I sat down and recorded the video, but today I really wanted to touch bases on postpartum depression, and everything that I went through during my experience with postpartum. And if you guys would like to subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. So it has definitely been a long time since I've sat down and recorded a YouTube video. And I feel like on this video, I really want to touch bases on postpartum. Everything about postpartum depression, and everything that I went through. And, I just want to give advice to anybody else that's probably out there going through what I'm going through. I am officially 6 months postpartum. My son just turned 6 months. And, wow, it has definitely been a journey. I feel like that's why I haven't even been able to sit down and record a video. I mean, the last video I recorded was, I think it was 3 months. I don't even remember, but it has been a long time. Obviously, I've been adjusting to motherhood, and it's a lot. It's really a lot. And I feel like, yes, you watch YouTube videos like about other women going through their own experience, but it's like everybody is different. And that's one thing that I feel like I was so hard on myself about at first, because like I saw everybody else's motherhood life, and I would question myself, like, am I doing this right? Because you see other people doing it a certain way or whatever. But I feel like my advice is just do it your way and do what works best for you at the end of the day, because that's all that matters. My experience with postpartum was, I feel like the postpartum part was not too bad as I expected. For the first 2 weeks, I feel like, yes, it was very rough on me because I did have a 3rd-degree tear. So there was a lot going on down there, if you know what I mean. But, also me watching other women and other YouTubers, like, I was able to kind of, like, know what to buy in the sense of making it easier for me through my postpartum. So I did buy the Always Discreet undies. They kind of look like diapers for women. I feel like those were super essential for me. Like, the first 2 weeks when I was bleeding so much, like, I would even have to wear a pad and one of those because that's how much I was leaking. But I feel like those were super essential for me. They helped so much, and it just felt like it kept everything secure, even my stomach and all that. So that I do recommend you girls to try, because those were the best things ever. Also, the Dermaplast spraying, helps with like your stitching, your cuts, to keep everything cool, fresh down there. That was definitely another thing that I did use a lot. And also, they do sell a Freedom Mom postpartum kit, which I was gifted at my baby shower by my sister. So I'll leave a picture here of what it looks like. That kit was super essential. Like, it has the cooling pads, the cooling wipes, like literally everything you're gonna need for your postpartum. I had a great pregnancy. I never threw up. Like, yeah, I was nauseous a little bit in the beginning, but like my pregnancy was so amazing. Like, I had no complications at all up until the end, because I went past my due date and I got preeclampsia. So, but like at the end is when things started turning. But I was already gonna give birth, so it wasn't too bad. I didn't experience those symptoms too bad. But yeah, in the postpartum, like, I feel like for me it was very tough. Like, I couldn't walk like straight and good till like the 3rd week. So I needed a lot of help, like, because walking around, even sitting down to eat, like, it was just hard for me. Like, pain, everything. My body was in a lot of pain. And also because I had such a rough delivery, when I did try to breastfeed, like, it just was not working out for me. Like, I don't know if my milk just sucked up dry like that quick from how many days after I was in the hospital, because I kept trying to breastfeed and the milk was just not coming out. And also my son, thankfully, he latched, but the problem was that I was not producing no milk. So it was kind of rough too, because hello, my son is hungry and I'm trying to breastfeed and no milk is coming out. So we had to end up giving him formula in the hospital. So I feel like that kind of ruined things a little bit for me, from my experience, because I really wanted to breastfeed my son. And I was super hard on myself about not being able to breastfeed. But when I gave birth, I lost a lot of blood. I hemorrhaged. I think that's how you say it. And I had to get a blood transfusion 2 times. So it's like a lot of traumatic things happened to me when I gave birth. So I feel like that's a reason maybe why my milk never came in, because even when I went home, I was trying to pump and I was trying to do like hot compressions, like do it all, and my milk was just not coming out. So I was like super disappointed. I was super hard on myself those first few days because I wanted to breastfeed so bad. Like that was my goal, that was my plan. But again, it's one of those things where like you can't, I mean, yes, you could plan to want to breastfeed your child and you want to try to do all the things to try to breastfeed your child, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out. Like, and I feel like with me, I was really hard on myself because I wanted to breastfeed. Like, I wanted to be that mom. So I feel like that's one thing I just had to talk to other moms about, because I feel like I became very like sad because I couldn't breastfeed. But at the end of the day, like, fed is best. So whatever way you decide to feed your child, and sometimes it just, that's the way you gotta go. You gotta go another route, because what, are you gonna starve your child? So I feel like I just had to stop thinking about myself and just worry about my son and what he needed. So yeah, and I feel like the hospital where I gave birth at, even the nurses, like, they weren't really trying to help me like continue to try to breastfeed, or like help me, like, I don't know, figure out a way to like get my milk out. So I feel like by the time I got home, my milk was like not coming out. Like, no matter what I was doing, it was not coming out. And I feel like I was under a lot of stress even after I came home. So I feel like that's another factor. And I did research, and you know, a lot of things have factors as to why you can't breastfeed. So I feel like after I researched and I talked to other moms, you know, I finally just started feeling guilty that I couldn't breastfeed. So yeah, I just started feeling guilty for myself, and I just did what I had to do. You know, feed my son formula. If that's what's gonna help him grow and be healthy, then you gotta do what you gotta do. So I feel like, yes, it took me a long time for me to get over that guilt. And also, becoming a new mom, there is a lot of guilt that you go through for even sometimes the dumbest things, honestly. Like, needing a day for yourself, you feel guilty, like leaving your child. Even if it's for an hour, 2 hours, you get that mom guilt for leaving them. And I feel like that's another thing that I really struggled with when I gave birth with my son. Plus, I never really left him alone until he was about like 4 months. The first time I went to go get my nails and toes done, but I was crying at the nail salon, let me tell you, girl. But yeah, that's another thing. You know, breastfeeding did not work out for me, so I feel like that was very tough on me mentally. And you're trying to breastfeed, you're trying to learn this new little person, you're trying to adjust to this new life that you now have. So I feel like it's just a lot of things that go on with postpartum. That's why I wanted to sit down and talk about it. So you're adjusting to this new little life that you have now. It's not about you anymore. It's about this little person. Like, and you're still trying to balance everything else in your life, like trying to get back to normal, or trying to, you know, just everything in general. So it's a lot of pressure, I feel like. And thankfully, when I did give birth, my mom was able to take some time off of work to stay home with me, to help me with my son. So I really appreciate that, because I don't know if I would have been able to do it that whole week without my mom. Like, that was like a rough week for me. So I'm super grateful that I had that type of help. And, you know, just, I had a lot of support around me. At the end of the day, I did have a lot of support around me. But I just started slowly becoming like just sad a lot. And I was just sad every day. And I was just sad every day. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, obviously you're not that you're sad, but it's like, you know, things have changed. So it's like, that's why you kind of get into this funk when you do give birth, because things have changed. Or maybe you didn't go through a funk. Maybe you were absolutely happy and you felt so like alive. You know, everybody's experience is different. So I feel like that's how I started beating myself up, because I'm like, why am I feeling sad? Like, this should be the best time of my life. This should be like the most happiest time of my life. And I didn't feel that way. As sad as it sounds, like, I did not feel that way. And I just remember crying a lot, like every little thing. Like, I don't know, even stupid things that would happen, like I would just start crying. Like, and you know, my mom slowly started telling me, like, I think you're having postpartum depression, like, you know. And I was like, no, I'm not going through that. Like, I was very in denial at first that I was going through that. I was just like, maybe it's just baby blues, because I've heard of baby blues too. So I'm like, it has to be baby blues. I can't be depressed. Like, no. So I was very in denial at first. But even after like 3 months, 4 months, I was still crying. I was still feeling sad. I was still like, I felt like I was just in this like bubble of like sadness and darkness, and I couldn't understand what was happening. And again, because I wasn't too educated on postpartum depression. Even when my son was born, the first few weeks, like I felt like I didn't have a connection, like, and that's so scary to think, because you have this baby in your stomach for 9 months, and you know that when you see them, it's gonna be like, oh my god. Which for me it was, but I feel like when we came home and we were like trying to transition into this new life, like having my son, I felt like I just didn't have the connection, and it was just so sad. And I remember just crying and crying, because I'm like, why am I going through this? Like, why do I feel this way? And at times I wouldn't even want to carry him or just bond with him. And I feel like a lot of that had to do with the fact that when he was born, I was so sick that I didn't even get to have that skin to skin moment. I didn't get to have that first breastfeed when they're out of the womb. Like, I didn't get to have that bonding experience with him when he was born, because of how sick I was, and I was like basically dying, passing out, that I just don't even remember anything. And that's so sad. Like, you don't want to remember your delivery that way. And I feel like that's what added to the fact that I felt like I didn't have a bond with him. So I feel like that was very scary for me. Like, and people talk about these things. Sorry, I'm getting emotional, but people talk about these things, and it's like, you never know, like, that you're gonna go through it. Obviously, I never thought I was gonna go through it. Slowly started acknowledging the fact that I was going through postpartum depression, and I was like, you know what, I have to do something about this. Like, I can't just keep denying the fact that I'm having postpartum depression. Like, it's real, it's okay, like, I'm gonna get through it. So I feel like slowly, after a while, I did start accepting the fact that I was going through postpartum depression. And it was very hard for me, because it's like, as a mother now, you want to be this strong person, because, hello, it's not about you anymore. You're caring about another person's life. So you want to be this strong person for this child, because you know that that child depends on you. But it's like, it's okay to realize that you need help. And whether that be talking to somebody, or doing counseling, or just having some alone time to yourself, like, all of that is okay. And I feel like it took a long time for me to accept that, because I just wanted to be this perfect mom for my son, that I was forgetting to take care of myself in the process. So I feel like that was a big thing for me to realize, because again, that's where that mom guilt came in. And I feel like till this day, I'm 6 months postpartum, and I feel like I'm still dealing with it sometimes. Not as bad as I was before, but there is some days where I'm just sad. There is some days where I don't have no type of motivation, but it's like, you gotta get up, because you're a mom. Like, life doesn't stop. You gotta keep going. And that's another thing where taking time for yourself comes in, because if you're not good, you're not gonna be good for your baby, because your baby needs you 100%. So I feel like I slowly recently just started taking care of myself. And whether that be alone time at night when he goes to sleep, you know, like watching a YouTube video, like doing some self-care. I feel like just any little thing that you can do for yourself, just do it, because honestly, it's going to help you feel better in the end. I'm still learning till this day. Like, I feel like when you become a parent, like, you're never going to stop learning. And I've got that advice from many people. Like, you're never going to stop learning. You're always going to learn new things about being a parent. Like, it's never going to stop. So I feel like even now at 6 months, I'm still learning new things. And I feel like now it's even different. Now we're at a different stage in his life, in my son's life, because he's growing up now. He's going into a different stage. He's going into, like, talking more, playing more, like wanting to crawl, wanting to roll over. So it's like at every stage, there's going to be different things that you're facing. And I feel like it took a lot for me to just take a step back and realize, you know what, it's okay to ask for help. Learning how to deal with it differently now than before. And, you know, also being postpartum, like, you go through everything. You go through the body changes, the emotional changes, the physical changes, like, And I feel like that's another big thing for me that I was dealing with, and I feel like I am still dealing with it a little bit, which would be my self-image, like the way I feel about my body, the way I feel about myself. I feel like I had a hard time loving my new body, like loving my mom body. And I finally realized, you know what, it's okay, because a lot of moms go through this. Like, another thing I was already putting in my head, like, oh my god, like I see other moms, like they don't even care about how their body looks, or they love their body, and why don't I feel the same about my body? So it's like, that's another thing that I'm learning about. Hold on, my child's crying. So I feel like, yeah, that's another thing you just go through, and it's okay to go through that. And I feel like I've been looking at different people on Instagram, like, you know, mom accounts, and I feel like what they talk about, how they express it, like I feel like that's slowly been helping me. It's okay not to snap back, and I feel like I was putting so much pressure on myself to snap back when I had my baby, and mentally I was so hard on myself because I was trying to snap back, like look good, like fit back in my old clothes. And I feel like realistically, like, yes, some moms do snap back, and some moms go back to the size they used to be, or go even smaller, but not everybody's like that, and not everybody's body is going to do the same things that somebody else's body does. So I feel like that took a lot for me to learn, and I'm slowly starting to love this new body that I have, and to tell myself it's okay not to be a size 1 like I used to be. It's okay to be a size 5 now. Like, so I feel like it just, postpartum comes with a lot of things, and I feel like this needs to be talked about way more. And finish an outro because my son started crying. But I think just moral of this story time is that it's okay to go through what you're going through when you have a baby, and it's okay to go through all the changes that you go through, because I felt like I felt guilty for a long time because I felt the way that I felt. But over time and learning and just knowing that my feelings are valid and that they do matter really has helped me to just start growing and slowly get out of this postpartum depression. So I feel like that's why I wanted to make this video, just to let other women know that it's okay. Not everything is perfect the way social media makes it seem like sometimes. And that's why I wanted to put this video out there, to show that no, it's not always perfect or this perfect life. And I hope this encourages somebody to speak up or get help if you guys need it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please leave a comment, and also subscribe to my channel because I want to come out with more videos. I'm not sure what I want to post for my next video, but leave an idea down in the comments, and also follow my Instagram to keep up with, you know, mom life and things like that. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video.